Hey everybody, it's Skeeter with Experience Wild, and welcome to the Experience Wild podcast. This is episode .2. Joining us today is Eric Wright. You'll probably see him a lot on the podcast, so welcome, Eric.
How you guys doing?
Yeah, we're getting her started. It's trout season.
It is.
Trout is open.
It's been a long waited.
Have you been out?
A couple times, not as much as I normally do, but it's just starting.
I say, have you been out? I think that's more for the podcast. I know that you've been out because you've sent me some pictures. You seen any good fish?
Not. I've seen a couple, but not anything what I'm going after.
Yeah.
But they're starting though. Starting.
Yeah,
we did see one big one on opener.
You did?
Yeah, like a really big one.
I saw, and you used like the. I think a lot of our people that probably listen are local people. So
Yeah.
you can have to be real quick. The secret names that we've put together, but like I was on triples and I didn't see anything.
Oh yeah.
Like I got that one fish that was like 18, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't like we normally go after.
Right. Yeah.
And then when I got to triples, I didn't catch fish in there.
Yeah, I think it was they had a better winter last year, so I feel like they're more hungry. I mean, we had a harsher winter, but they were more hungry, so they started feeding sooner, I think. But we saw a lot of fish.
Good.
And I caught an owl almost.
Yeah. On a mouse?
On a mouse, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's cool.
Yeah, that was wild.
One on a mouse. I've never caught an owl. I think you would have been beat up pretty bad. How'd you catch that?
Oh,
owl?
yeah.
What was a barred owl, right?
Yeah, yep. So I kind of knew there was one around because my buddy had a couple smaller ones on the stringer at the Airbnb, and I was like, seen it on the bank. I'm like, that's weird. I was like, so I yelled up to my buddy. I'm like, hey, did you pull your fish out of the water? He's like, no, and half of its face was like gone.
Oh wow.
So I didn't think anything of it. Went out there to cast, and like about 20 casts later, see this object come right from my left shoulder, picked up my mouse, and I was fighting it in the air. And then it dropped it, luckily.
That's unreal. I'm super glad you dropped it.
Me too.
You know, the only time I've been really close to an owl, I think my phone, my cover photo is of a snowy.
Oh yeah.
And when I was fishing out on Lake Michigan, it was standing on the rock pile on the north arm when it was covered with
snowy owls are awesome.
Yeah, they're cool. And then TK had an experience where he was out and we were fishing on Strawberry. We had fished the night before on Strawberry. He went back out there, and a snowy landed on the net.
Oh, on the boat?
Yeah.
Oh, wow,
yeah,
that's cool.
So he took a bunch of pictures of that thing like it was a centerfold.
Yeah.
Like right above him. And you don't realize how big those birds
and
are.
The crazy thing is like, you don't hear them. Like, I did not hear that. I just saw an object, and I'm like, what the heck was that? You don't hear it. Like,
no, and that's their thing,
yeah.
right? Like, that's how they catch everything in the night. They make zero
sound.
Wing noise.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, and I don't know, I've never watched, like, the owl in flight.
Yeah.
So to know, like, what it does compared to hawks.
Right.
Because, hawks get wing beats. I've had that many times. I've been in a tree stand, and they come rushing in, and you don't hear them until the last second. But when they're there, you're like,
yeah,
you hear it, and well, at least I do. My wife didn't. We were bow hunting one day, and she wanted to go, so I'd say we were bow hunting. I was bow hunting.
Yeah.
Jessie was watching, and being part of the club. And I think she had taken one of my baseball caps, and she tucked her ponytail like up out the back.
Oh yeah.
And you try to teach everybody no quick movements and move with your eyes. Well, she's doing this, and that ponytail's just going back and forth. And Redtail came in to say hi.
Oh my word.
Yeah, it was close. It was close. Like enough where I knew something was happening.
Yeah.
Like the snowball was being thrown at me, so
Right.
I moved.
Yeah.
And this thing landed in the tree and was there for 1 second. By the time I turned, it was already headed out.
Oh,
she's
that's...
like, "What?"
Yeah.
And I went, "You
got
almost lost your
dive-bombed,
life.
yeah.
You were coming out of this tree." So.
Oh man. Speaking of snowy owls, I saw a post not too long ago, and I think it was somewhere in Michigan, but someone took a really good, like, professionally done photo of a snowy owl, but it had some like orange in it too. It was like, did you see that?
No.
I'll have to find it because it was one of the prettiest owls I've ever seen. Like I love owls, but yeah, I didn't like that one that came after my mouth.
Yeah, no joke.
Yeah.
I didn't see that post. I did see that they saw a couple of golden eagles out to the wastewater.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
That's
guys were talking about that.
nice.
So, trout's open. We got a little bit of rain. Everything was kind of tea stained up. Did you check the white? Was the white trash?
I haven't gone there yet. No.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Like I didn't see the water. I stopped into Asperia Sport Shop and put my order in for my new bow.
Oh, okay. What are you getting?
Matthews lift.
Lift. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Heck yeah.
So yeah, new Matthews lift this year. It's Jim told me that as of last weekend, which what's today? Today's the 8th, right? So April 8th for whenever you're listening to this. So last weekend, which was today's Thursday, so I think I was in there on Sunday or
Okay.
Saturday. I can't remember. I was up trout fishing. It was Saturday.
Yeah.
He said that a fresh batch of steelhead had come in,
Oh, wow.
and they
Huh.
had chrome in
Okay.
the river, and guys were, they're going to come in quick and they're going to bounce out,
Yeah.
but those guys had like caught limits that morning.
Of steelhead in the river
steelhead.
still? Wow.
Lots of steelhead. So yeah, it's one of those things where
Yeah.
get them while you can because they're leaving. They're about out.
I know there's guys still catching walleye out in front of the arms and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
A couple buddies sent me some browns even still, which is crazy.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Cohos are moving in.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So I've heard that.
Yeah.
Guys getting cohos. I've got a couple messages from guys who are diehard Big Lake guys, and they've been out and getting a few kings, and the Lakers are around. So water's still got to be a little bit cold. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not mid upper 50s yet.
Do you remember? It was probably 5 or 10 years ago when a bunch of people were getting cohos in Snug Harbor through the ice.
Oh yeah.
That was wild.
Yeah, that was wild.
I was like, what?
And it wasn't not like the one's a fluke, two's a coincidence.
Yeah,
like,
it
these
was like
guys
a
were
bunch.
catching multiple.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be wild.
I did. One of my buddies did catch some brown trout at sand docks fishing
Okay.
for perch this year,
Nice.
which is cool. Like I don't see that very
And
often.
smelt too. I heard since they cleaned up the water a little bit, took some of that wood out, like the smelt are coming in. I heard someone catch a burbot even in Muskegon.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know how big it was, but
The only time I caught a burbot, and I don't think you can technically say that I caught it. I was jigging walleyes off 2nd Street, like towards the river mouth,
yeah, open water
open water, not open water, on the ice.
on the ice. Okay.
Yeah. Just that water that's between the river mouth and 2nd Street, just kind of that basin
Oh yeah.
there. So I was in there jigging, and fish was coming in. It was coming in really slow. Kind of pulling it off the bottom, and as it was coming towards the ice, it was coming faster and faster.
Mhm.
I thought it came swiped and missed it, so I quick reeled up and brought the jig through the hole to get another minnow on there, and the damn thing came right through the hole, right onto the ice.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my word.
Like, yeah,
That's
it was
wild.
one of those
They're aggressive for
kind
sure.
of stomping him back down the hole. And damn burbot came out after me. I told that story a lot in the bait shop.
Oh yeah.
Burbot came out on the ice that I didn't really catch. Did you get into turkeys?
I didn't, but I can do a pretty dang good turkey call, but I don't know. I got too many hobbies right now. I'll probably get into it someday. I'd like to get out just to be in the woods and stuff. But,
Yeah.
If I did do it, though, I would 100% do it with a bow first and get those, the guillotine broadheads.
You are brave.
I would.
like,
I know it'd be hard, but it would be fun.
So, I've killed a couple turkeys with my bow, and I'm not a great turkey hunter. I mean, I think I'm effective at it, but turkeys have to be really in the mood for me to shoot them.
Yeah.
I have not a lot of tricks up my sleeve. I can call them. I have, and I've got a couple with my bow.
Oh,
but
nice.
but they see really well. Like, and I don't know if they see well.
They see subtle movements.
Movement.
Yeah.
They're on you.
Okay.
It's it's tough. It's
Yeah.
one of those where you really have to pick.
Because you pick up a shotgun or a rifle, and you're just still, and you can pull the trigger. Where a bow, you got so much more movement.
Yeah, no,
So
for
they
sure.
can see
There's a
that.
lot of movement there, and I was busted many a times.
Were you in a
before.
blind or no?
No.
No. So blind would help probably.
Blind would help tremendously.
Yeah, with a bow. Yeah.
But it's not the way I like the turkey hunt.
Right, for
Like,
sure. So do you sit in a spot and then move, and then?
Oh yeah,
you do?
I like moving.
Yeah.
I like moving. If they're not coming, I want to go.
Right. Okay.
So,
Yeah, I've only turkey hunted 3 times in my life ever, and like 2 of them I think were on the military post when I was like maybe 24.
Okay.
So, but I called them in. So I started watching these videos when I was young.
Yep.
And I didn't know the guys use diaphragms, so I like practice it, and I can do it so good with my voice.
Really?
Like, yeah.
Do it.
Yeah. All right. I'll do it. I'll do it for the podcast, but gotta take a
chug
drink
of
of
water.
Yeah, I
to
gotta
get primed up.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Yeah,
sometimes it's better than others.
Yeah, you wouldn't get away with that turkey hunting.
Well,
That thing's got 2
it's
tops
double
on
lid,
it, too.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just spilled myself. Oh, oops. All right, here it goes.
That actually is really good
Yeah.
for no diaphragm.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, dude.
The gobble's way worse.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I don't
I
gobble
think
at
the
'em.
gobble is worse for everybody. I've never heard anybody really gobble well.
Yeah.
Like some,
Mm-hmm.
but they do it by mouth, and everybody who's got, some little device and go, it sounds like crap.
Yeah, yeah.
Doesn't sound like a turkey gobble to me. Elvie's ready to go out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so my 6-year-old
How
enjoys turkey hunting.
is that still going on?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know
no,
the
her
season
turkey
very well.
season's right now.
Okay.
So it's time for her to be out there. We haven't. We're
Yeah.
a little bit limited. Like I've got the property to be able to take her to. I've got lots of people who let me hunt their properties just because I do the management for coyotes
Yeah.
for them. So
Yeah, that's a win-win for sure.
yeah, no, that's good. Gets me onto a lot of places.
When does the season end?
End of the month.
End of this month? Okay. So through May. Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, it's actually a decently long season because it started in beginning of April.
Yeah, and then that's broke up into different seasons.
Oh.
So like started at the beginning of April, your first seasons, and those were like a week long. You basically got one weekend in there, and then the second season.
Okay. Oh yeah, because you have to draw for certain segments of the season, right?
Yeah, it's still
That's
a
right.
lottery.
Okay.
Can you believe that? Like
Yeah.
you walk around Michigan.
There's
and
so
go,
many
turkeys.
turkeys.
A lottery.
Yeah.
I think they've made a great comeback. I can remember when the National Wildlife Turkey Federation introduced turkeys back in the Muskegon River bottom.
Mm-hmm.
I was young, and fortunately for me, but unfortunately for the National Wildlife Turkey Federation, I was a little redneck kid, and I had a grandfather that was raised in the hills of Tennessee, so I knew how to catch turkeys. I was young.
Like catch them with your hands?
No, trapping them.
Oh, trapping.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
and
That's cool.
I was quickly put in my place, and
Yeah.
and had to spend some time with the National Wildlife Turkey Federation doing some things for them, so I didn't get in trouble. I
Yeah.
was a child.
Yeah.
Well, what the hell is this thing? That's big chicken.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, caught them, and that you didn't see turkeys then.
Yeah.
Um,
It looks cool and it moves. I want to catch it.
yeah, no, and I still have that bug. If everybody knows there's something wild, I'm probably gonna grab it.
Yeah.
Let's see. So we get through turkeys. Did you apply for your bear permit?
Oh no, I have to do that.
Do
Is
that.
it okay? I
Bear-
did last year. Was the first year I did, so I'm just trying to accumulate points because I want to do that with a bow as well. So I just picked up bow hunting again last year. Like got into it, and I told myself I was like, I'm not going to shoot a buck with a rifle until I get one with a bow. And last year I shot my first buck with a bow. Nice 9-point on state land. So now this year it actually worked out because I didn't have a deer rifle and I ended up winning one.
Yep.
So it just happened to work out perfectly.
At the
so.
Whitetails banquet
Yeah.
that we went to. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you end up getting?
I'm actually wearing the hat from there. Yeah.
What'd you win?
6.5 Creedmoor Savage is a Axis.
Perfect. Savage Axis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
That's a solid rifle.
I was-
It's like the lunchbox rifle. It's like it's a well-built rifle, and everybody can afford that
Yeah.
Savage Axis. Like,
Yeah, it came with a scope even, which is awesome.
man, it's a kit.
Yeah.
It's a kit.
But I went to buy ammo for it because I was like, I need to like shoot because I was going to the range because I was sighting in my Hellcat, and I was like, oh, I'll grab some 6.5 Creedmoor ammo, and I'm like, they're not giving this stuff away. I'm waiting for this. Like,
Right.
It's a lot more expensive.
Oh, the Creedmoor ammo?
Yeah.
Yeah, and not all of it is built the same. I've been running a lot of Hornady.
Okay.
My Creedmoor, I tend to like if the federal ammo, some of the federal ammo
Uh-huh.
when it comes to whitetails.
Okay.
I'll get that. I think it's Fusion.
Fusion.
Yeah,
Okay.
Federal Fusion.
So I was looking. I was at Cabela's actually, and Cabela's employee that was working told me not to buy it from there. He gave me he wrote down on a. Actually, I think I got the card.
Ammo Seek.
Ammo Seek.
Oh,
Yeah. He said go on there.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. So I checked it out.
Teach you all about Ammo Seek.
Yeah.
It's like my daily get up, have coffee, check Ammo Seek.
Mhm.
Like, and Ammo Seek is one of those where you get in there, and you just tell them, what you're looking for.
And he was telling me about the shipping. Like if you see like the bar red, it's not. They have like slow shipping or more expensive shipping.
Expensive shipping.
Yeah. So you want to look for like the yellow or the green.
Yeah. No, there's a rating in there, and I love it.
Mhm.
I love it. It was when we didn't have to worry about like ammo prices. We didn't really use Ammo Seek.
Oh yeah.
It's like, and I told you those Palmetto daily deals where it's like
He
they
said,
send
"Don't
you
sign."
things. Yeah, don't sign up for Palmetto daily deals. If you ever hear that, do not sign up for those because you're going to end up with stuff at your house. But I think you used to get like 9mm rounds for $169 shipped to your door for $1,000.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was with shipping.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, so like
Man.
earlier today when you were like, you got any 9? Got thousands of 9s.
Yeah.
Like, here's a few bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, apply for those bear tags if you have not applied for them, or get your points. I think I'm hoping we're having a conversation a few months from now that I have my Baldwin tag.
Yeah. That's
So
it's Baldwin, Red Oak. Is Red Oak more north? Is it? Yeah. Red Oak is north.
the Baldwin area
covers
goes
Muskegon.
Muskegon,
Okay. Newaggo.
almost to Traverse City.
Okay.
Like, and up the 2 to 3 counties, kind of going straight up towards the bridge.
Okay.
So that's my area. I've got I know where there's some good bears and
I had a couple.
got permissions.
I had a couple come in on my trail cameras last year, around Hesperia. That I was like, if I get a bear tag, I'm coming here because we saw more than once.
Yeah.
So
and it's good. It's a good area to get a tag because there's not a lot of tags given out. I think this is going to be the biggest year at 390 tags given out.
Oh wow.
In that area, but and it still says you need 9 to 10 preference points
To get one.
I have 12.
Oh, so you're due.
I'm due.
Yeah.
I'm due. I was gonna do it last year, but we were supposed to be in Colorado, like during the hunt. So when the bear hunt was gonna be, I was gonna be in Colorado elk hunting because I had enough points to hunt my area for elk.
Right. So it kind of worked out that you didn't get it last year, right?
I specifically just put in for points.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, you can just put in for points for bear.
Okay.
Just go up at points only.
Gotcha. Okay.
Knowing that going to be in Colorado, I had enough points to get an elk tag, an archery elk tag for the area we were going to, and then they had a burn in the area. And that's when everybody wants to burn their tag. Like, they want to get in there. Because a lot of the stuff is, like, the elk are moving more. It makes the area a little bit more accessible.
Yeah.
Like, they tend to kill some giants.
Right.
Like, after a burn. So everybody got on that. Now we're at that point where I was just having this conversation that they're moving away from the point system.
Oh, wow.
And in Colorado.
Because their herd's getting so big?
No, because there's people that have been kind of like banking points.
Oh.
And like banking points, and then there's a point creep, is what they call it. So like all these people are banking points and buying points and have like 20 points.
Uh-huh.
So now some of those areas you've got to have more points than what you should because of that point.
Because so many people have
they're
them. Yeah.
banking them.
Right. That makes sense.
And burning them when they want to. So, there's...
so they could go year after year because they have so many points?
But I'm not exactly sure how that point creep works. I think it was Jake Romanek from Fishing 411.
Okay.
That was telling me that. We were talking about bear permit and the possibility of getting it, and then I explained exactly what we just talked about, and he's like, yeah, that's that point creep, Skeet, and they're getting away from that. You're going to want to burn your points by 2026 because there won't be a point system anymore, and it'll be just straight lottery, and which is harder to plan.
Right. Yeah.
But the planning didn't seem to work out for me because I didn't go elk hunting, nor did I go bear hunting because I put in for points only.
Yeah.
I called the Michigan DNR and I was like, hey, I put in for points.
Mm-hmm.
I put in for points only. You can still apply at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And then I found out that I didn't get a Colorado tag. So I called them. I'm like, I didn't get my Colorado tag. I'd like to put in and I'd like to bear hunt. And they went, too late.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Man.
Can't let you back out your points and then put in for your area and go into the lottery. So
you're going to put in for the lottery this year for sure?
I'm in.
Okay. So.
Man, I was waiting day one. Couldn't wait to put it in.
Oh, okay.
I'm already building bear toys and things like that, and barrels.
So you make structure. You can make log structures and put stuff down in them. I've seen a couple people do that, and I've heard of people taking. I don't know who told me this, but you can take fish guts and put them in spray bottles, and people are up in their tree stand spraying them in the trees because if you put them on the ground, they're just gonna eat them.
Yeah,
but you want to put them in the trees to get the scent to travel further.
There are a bunch of philosophies on how exactly to do that for bears.
Yeah.
So bait stations for me are going to be the way to go.
Right.
Consistently doing the same thing over and over and over is what will work.
All right. Okay. Because then you can pattern them. They create a pattern.
They like it, right?
Yeah.
So if you're doing something, you feed bears. You got a couple ways you can go. You can go the sweets or you can go the meats. The meats you always have problems with. It's gonna spoil.
Yeah.
There's gonna be
and then other predators.
And then other things, and smells change, and black bears don't necessarily eat rotten meat.
Mm-hmm.
They like fresh meat. They don't necessarily eat rotten.
So you want something that preserves and it stays consistent.
Yeah, and that's where sweets come in.
Right. Yeah.
It's you can call a bunch of different feed stores and or feed places, and they'll sell it to you per pound, or somebody's always got a buddy that's you can buy 12,000 Twinkies at this.
You might catch me out there.
And it's but you got to be careful because I think bears have the same digestive system as dogs, so you don't want to give them chocolate,
right?
Things like that. So I think there's a lot of philosophies to it. It's like somebody saying, "What's the best deer bait pile?" I mean, we used to have those conversations, and everybody in the UP was like, "Cabbage."
No.
Cabbage is the best, and then we'd buy heads of cabbage, and this was 15 years ago crossing that bridge before I said I'd never cross it again to go deer hunting. Go to the UP and buy those heads of cabbage, and then be sitting in your tree stand, and it'd be breaking light, and you would hear them coming through the woods and go, just willing it to be a deer and waiting to see silhouettes and hear squeak, squeak as they're chewing on cabbage, squeaky cabbage on your bait pile. It was pretty. That's pretty cool to hear
cool.
that.
Yeah.
And then have them come in and watch them devour that stuff. Speaking of which, and we're moving right along, going from bears to everything. Deer, you hear this whole baiting license?
I heard something about it. I've been following it closely, but
dude, I don't even know what to think about it. I want to have an opinion.
Is it for the DNR to create more funds to put back into the sport? or is it to limit to know how many people are actually baiting?
I don't know. I don't know, and I think that's the problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't tell you that they're doing that with the best interest of the deer in mind.
Right.
Like when you go, we can't bait deers in Michigan. Deers, you can't bait deer in Michigan, because of chronic wasting disease.
Right.
I don't think that we've had a chronic wasting disease case that hasn't been found on a farm.
Right. Okay.
I don't. Paying for a damn baiting license is not going to stop the spread of chronic wasting disease. Like, that doesn't make you exempt.
Yeah. That's
right?
true, yeah.
So,
oh, this person paid, so we're not going to get chronic wasting disease from this. Yeah.
Right. So it's a problem until you decide, now I can generate some revenue on it. So now it's not a problem anymore as long as you give us some money. That's feeling a little gross.
Yeah, I agree.
Like,
sure.
Making decisions for the any animal population or any of our wild resources based on sciences. Fantastic. That's proposal G. I mean, we got that passed, right? So based on scientific evidence, we can make decisions for our natural resources in Michigan.
Yeah.
But that feels just as gross as the whole closing the coyote season, based on somebody crying about it. Like, if you want to not do something based on it hurting something else, like if it's hurting the deer, if it's spreading disease, if it's causing a weakness to the herd, and you're going, there's going to be less animals because you're doing this, because there's going to, and you can prove that.
Yeah. Fantastic.
But now you can generate money off of it, and you go, you buy a $20 license from here, give us another $20, and no deer will die of chronic wasting disease in Michigan anymore as long as you pay us $20.
Not gonna happen. Yeah.
It feels sick.
I'm
not a baiting guy, but I will tell you, as a child and a young man, putting a little vegetables on the forest floor when there was some snow on the ground was cool.
Yeah.
Like, I loved it. Like sitting
you
over
can see how many tracks
shooting does.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it. I've killed a lot of does with my bow, like over corn and sugar beets and things like that. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was nice. I'm kind of glad that we didn't have baiting last year. Just, it was kind of cool not to shoot my first buck over a bait pile.
Oh, absolutely.
Because that was awesome. But it would be nice to see what's around. I think they should have baiting. Like, private land, you should be able to do whatever you want on it. Public land, I get it to a point, but especially I would like to use it to, like, set in front of my trail cameras, to take inventory, see what's around, and then if they want to limit it from there, I don't know, but
yeah, no, I think I've.
But I mean, you're gonna still have chronic wasting disease, whether that's the case or not. Like, whether it's in front of a trail camera or in front of a guy hunting. So
right.
But I've heard someone told me that it got bad again last year because the level of rain we got. They get it from, at least around the rivers anyway, from the mud that gets exposed, not from baiting, but from the mud.
EHD.
Oh, that's different.
Different.
Then. Okay,
yeah.
So that's what we had last year then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Blue tongue, EHD.
So that comes from the mud and stuff, and them like eating stuff out of the mud.
Midge larva.
Okay, gotcha.
So on our really dry years, which if you follow, I think it was Mark Drury was talking about this. Like, this is supposed to be an epic year for drought, based on some studies that were done, checking the rings on trees, like, to find drought years.
Mm-hmm.
This is supposed to be an epic drought year, like the same one as like the Oklahoma Dust Bowls.
Oh, wow!
Like, we're back. Depression era was the last time we had a drought like we're supposed to have this year.
Oh, wow! Huh.
So we're going to have to watch for that.
Yeah,
But
I hope that's not the case.
I
but...
hope it's not the case too. But if we do have a drought like that, then the water levels will go down when that mud is exposed and starts to dry out. That's when those midge larvae will hatch, turn into a fly that will bite, and that is what causes EHD.
Okay.
We saw some last year.
Oh,
I was hunting in a very swampy water spot and thought I had everything dialed in, and it was great. And I think it was 2 weeks before season, 3 weeks before season. I was maybe a little earlier than that. It was end of August. There's 2 tops on that thing.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. The first top. This is the one I want.
Yeah. The small one where you can actually take a drink out of it. Versus
I didn't even look
drowned.
the last time.
Yeah.
I just opened it.
Yeah, and I didn't say a damn thing.
No.
I just watched you do it.
Just like you said before, you don't go in that hole. You're gonna go swimming.
Yeah, you're gonna go swimming.
I think I'd be
Yeah, so I started getting the bad smells, and then I took Jesse and Elvie up the waterway in the boat, and as I'm pulling up, getting close, I see the turkey vultures, and I go, this is gonna be bad. And I found a bunch.
Oh,
and
really?
It's like, yeah, I'm abandoning the spot, like. And I don't know if a lot of people will do that. It's like, I'm abandoning the spot because I found too many dead deer on the side, and go, I don't know that there's that many in here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, until I've got a better understanding, I don't actually want to kill any animals out of here.
Right.
So, kind of backed out, and I'll check it this year and like at least see the tracks. And if the EHD thing happens again,
Exactly.
I'll probably back out. It's one of those that I'm not sure. I don't want to be hunting in there over stink.
No.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But also, feel bad for the animals and go, suckers got to get a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Good thing is it's kind of natural selection. I mean, it happens, and everything runs in cycles.
Yeah, very true.
But that's the reason why I abandoned my hunting spot in Ohio.
Okay. They had bad EHD down there too.
Bad EHD, which put me in Missouri, I think.
We have a way better deer population now than we've had in a long time, right?
Yeah.
So
I think so.
Maybe, I don't know if that's the part of the case too, but so you're seeing more dead deer when we get EHD because we have more deer too.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah, there's more deer. Or maybe I pay attention better.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Michigan DNR has ever found a really good way to count deer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know how they do that.
I don't know. I heard a rumor one time that they had to count deer in a park, and I don't think it was our park, but they were counting poops, like trying to find piles of poop, and it's like that can't be an effective way to count deer. But this was also before trail cameras, and who knows?
Right.
It could have been some guy that just decided he wanted to tell me something, and I was naive enough to go, "That's gonna stick."
Yeah.
That's gonna stick. They count poop.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows how they count them? So, elk. Did you put in for your elk tag?
No.
Put in for your elk tag. Start that now.
I need to.
Yeah, if you're gonna be a bow hunter in Michigan, you should put in for your elk tag and live that lifetime of disappointment right next to me. I don't want to be the only one.
All right. Well, if I ever get it, you're coming with me.
I'll go. I know where they are. They're pretty easy in Michigan, right? There's only
one spot or one area.
Yeah, there's pretty much one area
Yeah.
that you got to go to go hunt them, and that's where everybody does go. And they've got elk observation points, which makes it a little weird for me. Mm-hmm. Like the herd is small enough where I feel like there's people that go there that just want to observe them and don't want anybody hunting them. So that makes me a little nervous. But luckily, we live in Michigan, and I probably won't ever have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just keep putting it in and paying my dues.
That's like a once-in-a-lifetime thing, compared to bear, right?
I think you're only allowed to get it once.
Once, yeah.
Like, if you get it once, I don't think you can get it again.
You can't even apply again, probably.
They'll take your money.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you can apply.
Yeah.
Like,
but
you can apply, but I don't think you can get it again. If somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know that you can do that twice. Yeah, I don't think it's a thing.
Yeah, that would be a cool experience, though.
Dude, that would be cool, right?
So do you have to get a guide for that, or can you go out on your own if you get a
I
tag?
think you can go out on your
You
own.
can, okay.
Yeah. I don't know if it would be smart
Yeah.
to go out on
Because
your own.
it's your one shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you want to get one.
Yeah, I think if I got one, I definitely would call some people that I know and make some arrangements.
Mhm.
Now, if I got a cow tag,
Mhm.
I absolutely would not.
Yeah.
I would not.
You wouldn't get a guide, yeah.
No. But I put in for bull only every year, so.
Oh, yeah, that's not.
No, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, if you get it, you're going for a bull for sure.
Yeah, no. If you get it one time, there's guys that I know that a buddy of mine got a cow last year,
Oh, okay. Nice.
and he called me and he goes, will you help me? And I go, absolutely. And he's a disabled hunter.
Okay.
And he went to the spots that we talked about. He set some game cameras, talked to some people, get a little bit different access because he's a disabled hunter, so he was able to use machines to get his animals out.
Right.
Or if he did get one.
Mhm.
And we set up a quick plan, and he said, I think I can get this done, and had his e-bike. And I said, let me know if you need help. We'll go. I will take the time off work. I will hunt with you. And he goes, well, I'm going to hunt this weekend, and then if I don't, you come up and help me. And I went, okay, I absolutely will. So put the week or that next week in off for work. So it's I'm planning on going. I want to go hunt elk, but don't have the tag. But I will help this guy get a cow.
Right.
And I think he called me. He called me on the second day, and he's like, "It's done. Here's the picture." And he, had the elk, and it was cool.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I wouldn't go.
Mhm.
I would love to go.
I wonder
If I'm going to go in Michigan, I got to get a bull.
Yeah, for
Got to get a
sure.
bull.
I wonder how many people go up there in the spring and look for sheds. Do they shed it? They shed in the spring too, right? Elk
Yeah, the winter.
in the winter, yeah.
Yeah.
So I wonder how many people go up there and look for them, because that'd be cool to find a couple elk sheds.
I think everybody.
Everybody, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be like finding a unicorn horn, I think.
It would.
I don't, or.
It's not like Utah, but still
Well, and the people that find them own these big tracts of land, right?
Mhm.
So, there's some big farms around there, and that's where the elk all winter.
Oh, okay. So that's where they mostly drop.
Yeah,
probably.
yeah. So these things aren't walking wild through the woods. When it's wintertime, they're hanging out in these humongous CRP and winter wheat fields, and they're feeding in there and doing their little cow calls and running up the hills up there in Pigeon River, and yeah, those farmers are finding every single one of those.
Oh,
farms,
yeah.
I'm guessing.
Yeah.
They probably have a small business where they go, this is where we go out, this is where we pick up the horns, and this is where we sell them.
Nice.
So, yeah, I would love to do that and find some, but I'm really not sure that that'll ever happen.
Yeah.
What else we got going in Michigan right now? Mushrooms.
Morels, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. They're starting to work their way north. I've seen quite a few guys find quite a bit.
Yeah.
But they just came out with an app recently for the hot spots in Michigan.
Damn it.
I know.
Why? So, where is it? I keep thinking Trufant, but it's not Trufant.
Crystal Valley.
No, the Morale
Oh,
capital.
Mesic.
Mesic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mesic, just north of here, is the Morale capital of Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
You go buy a map over there.
Yeah.
There's been people on the side of the road selling those Morale maps for the last 20 years.
True, that's true. Yeah.
I don't know that they lead anywhere.
Yeah.
It's feel a little bit like selling the beans to the magic beanstalk.
Yeah.
I don't know if they work, but there's a lot of places where you can find Morels there, and it's not. It's always a hunt, for sure. I think my daughter spent a lot of time thinking that they were alive
Oh, really?
Like they hide really
Yeah,
good.
she's like, we're hunting something.
Yeah, we're
like
hunting.
It's alive.
We're hunting morels, and I kept saying, well, they hide well.
Mm-hmm.
So, but my son, when he was young, he was, we got to kind of go slow, pick our way, look. Everybody's got a stick, and kind of, if you find a morel, it's like, okay, so I got this 5-foot long stick, and kind of make the circle and go somewhere in here, and probably gonna find another mushroom.
Mm-hmm.
That kid would like skip through the woods and go, there's one, there's one, there's one.
Oh, really?
Like when
He had
was
the eye
young.
for it, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Kids have an advantage, too, because they're a lot closer to the ground.
Closer to the ground.
Yeah.
Lot. But when you haven't seen that many of them, it gets a little tough to...
It is tough because your eye is looking for something that you haven't seen even that day, that week. But once you see one, then it's like game on.
It makes it a lot easier, and especially if you're hunting in a area that you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I keep that shiitake mushroom pile
Mm-hmm.
out here. Like, I inoculated all those logs, and that's really my indicator. When I get my first bloom, I go, black morels are up. Like,
Oh, yeah.
But I've gotten that thing in the snow.
Oh, really?
Like,
Okay.
I've gone out there and picked shiitakes off of those logs. Like, of course, we get some good weather, and then we get that like crazy weird
Second winter.
snow
Yeah.
that comes in, and then you go out, and I've never gone out to find a morel in the snow,
Uh-huh.
but I know guys that have.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Well, Ron's
Yeah.
said that he's found them in the snow,
Yep. That's true.
but he also has that same height advantage finding them in the woods.
So,
Right?
yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
Yeah, it's
So,
a damn garden gnome.
my friend's mom found one in the fall in the sand dunes.
Really?
Yeah, in the fall, because she lives on Edgewater or
Okay.
whatever. Like, this was years ago, but grew like under her stairs in the sand, in like
Wow.
the dune grass in the fall. I'm like, what in the world? I'm like, that's crazy.
It's
It was just
awesome.
one single one. But I never knew they grew in sand.
You know, I think that morels will grow anywhere that you have certain kind of trees that are dying, or the certain nutrients. As long as
That's
that
true.
mycelium, you understand how that works. Like with you have to think of morel as like the tip of a tree, like the individual sticks,
Yeah, okay.
and then underneath and going to the root system even.
Mm-hmm.
Is the actual living organism.
Right, okay.
So the living organism is that, and then like the morels are a result
Okay.
of the living organism that's
Mixed with the
underneath the
soil and everything in it, and yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's the bloom.
So, the spores thing always confused me because I know that I've never understood mushroom spores. Like, I know people carry those mesh bags and stuff to spread out the spores, but then you go back next year and you don't find them. But
Right.
that confuses me. I don't know if that's a myth or if that's true.
No, I think that you're doing something.
Okay.
This is probably a horrible way to explain it, but you have to think of a mushroom almost like a disease.
Oh yeah.
Like, it really is.
It is a
Like,
fungus, yeah.
It's a fungus. So,
Yeah.
but what it's doing, the fungus's job is to break something down.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what they're doing most of the times. That's why you find like when we were trout fishing, found all those chicken in the woods.
Yeah.
Like,
That was
they're,
awesome.
They're on dying oak trees. Is there a fly in here?
Yeah, I was trying to get it.
There's a fly in the studio. Snatch him. You got him. You got him, Mr. Miyagi. You snatched a fly.
With my chopstick.
Right, with your chopsticks right off the microphone.
Yep.
All right, smash him.
Got
Leave
him.
him out there. Make sure
I'll let him sit right here.
use some hand sanitizer. So, like, we found all those chicken of the woods, which is a super easy mushroom for people to find in that, like, late August, early September.
Yeah.
It's very distinct looking, and you can see it from a long ways away, but
Like
everyone-
Hunter Orange.
yeah, and everyone that we found was, on the dying oak, or something that had some distress to it, and that's where you want to get them.
Right.
If you find one on a conifer, you don't want to eat it. Like, you go there because it's got some different toxins that it's picked up from from that.
I'll tell you what, though. You don't want to find them when you first start fishing.
Oh,
Because
my gosh.
those things are not light.
They're not.
Especially when you stuff your whole backpack full.
Yeah.
Luckily, we found those ones at the end.
Yeah, no, I think I had 25 pounds in that backpack. 25 pounds of chicken of the woods. And then, like, when we found the second one, I was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Because we had walked already for 3-4 miles on the stream.
Yeah, 10 hours.
Yeah, they're ridiculous. So the morels, like, they pop up, and when you find that, the poplar, with some oak mixed in, and ash trees, and people find them in sand. I know that the big white ones, they find them in apple orchards.
Yeah.
I'm so disenchanted with them by the time that those big giant white ones pop up. But it always makes me jealous when, like, that one guy was like, in the 3-foot tall grass, I found this morel.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, I'd love to find one that big.
Yeah.
Never have.
The first batch I found was on the military post when I was turkey hunting. I was turkey hunting this blind, and then I heard a couple turkeys come in, and then I was like, I'm gonna go walk the edge of this field, and I found, like, no one hunts them on the military post.
Mm-hmm.
So I walked the edge of this field, and I found like hundreds of whites, and I was pumped because I'd always wanted to find one. I was like 21, 22 years old, but yeah, I haven't ever been great at finding them. I've found them a couple years, and it's probably because I'm too ADD. So I'm like,
Sure.
I'm like looking when I need to be like scanning and doing it slow and methodically. Like, my brain doesn't work like that. I'm like,
Yep.
I'm looking here, but I'm also looking here. Like,
Yeah, I do. I'm pretty good at movement.
yeah,
Like, picking out movement, but it seems like I can see the mushrooms, but a lot of times I feel like I'm kind of like just looking across and staring, and then you see one and you're like, oh, like I forgot I was looking for mushrooms. I'm just kind of looking around. Somebody sent me a picture of one a little while ago. Said,
yeah.
hey, I got. Actually, Buddy said, oh, let's see what this dude said.
I'm convinced when I'm looking for them, they pop back into the ground.
How you clean these? I just found them. So and then sent me that picture. So there's some morels in a tub, and they go, yeah, split those things in half, man, and get the roly polies out of them.
Soak them in salt water.
Yeah, salt water. Give them a little bit of time, and
Man, that's the Michigan Grand Slam meal: venison steak, some morels, and some trout.
Yeah.
So, like, Michigan Grand Slam.
love it. I've got some morels, but up there dried, but I let dry out from last weekend. Got the venison steaks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sitting on a couple of those.
Couple, yeah.
Took advantage of the we're allowed to buy 10 doe tags last year, but definitely has some properties that have some problems.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess when you start managing a lot of property it's a lot of work, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Like there were some days I got pretty sick of putting deer on the buck cart, and rolling them out.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, only one fits on this thing at a time, or two fits on it at a time. It's like it becomes some long days.
Man, that cart helped out a lot, but I went back a long ways, and I told myself, I was like, all right, I'm not going to shoot a doe. I'm shooting a buck back here. And by the time I got to the truck, I was like, I am so glad I didn't shoot a doe back here. Because even without that cart, it was so many deadfalls and stuff. I was like, man, this is like, I could not do this. I mean, we were able to get through and stuff, like following the deer trails, but there's like stumps and stuff. Like, I was pulling the cart, where the tire goes over one, and you're just like, it just stops you in your tracks, and you're just like, just dead by the time.
What cart did you get?
I got, Chris gave it to me.
So you just got a two-wheeler?
Yeah, a two-wheeler. But I put different tires on it.
I'm that guy that always has the extra for the extra.
Yeah.
So I've got a brand new Hawk 4-wheel articulating cart.
So the wheels go like that?
Bro, you got to use it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that there's people out there that will tell me that I'm wrong, but Like, that is one that I have hooked up to my mountain bike.
Mm-hmm.
I have pulled out multiple deer at a time. That thing will save your life.
Oh, yeah.
You do it one time and you go,
I should have had this.
hawk is the best when it comes to the buck cart.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of other stuff that we go, oh, there's a lot of other things out there that are maybe higher quality.
Yeah.
But they make stuff at the right price.
Right, the
and
best
you
bang
can,
for your buck.
You can get into something. I mean, when you start saddle hunting, you got a hawk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you go hawk sticks.
Uh-huh.
You don't go, I'm gonna try saddle hunting and go, I'm gonna buy these Latitude SS, like the ones
carbon
I have
ones.
now. You know, like you have them now.
Yeah.
They might be the second or the third ones you buy, but they're definitely not the first ones that you buy.
Right, for sure.
So Hawk makes some pretty good stuff and helps a lot of people get into the sport.
Mm-hmm.
But that Hawk cart,
Yeah.
I like it so much that I thought that they were going to discontinue it at some point, and I went, I'm never not going to have one. So I bought an extra one and stuffed it up in the attic.
Oh, nice.
So I got spares up there.
Yeah, okay.
So I tell my wife, like, when I die,
out.
assume no box is empty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
extra for your extra.
You know I'm going first, but just assume that no box is empty.
Yeah.
Do not bring a roll-off box to my house and start throwing things away. Open everything up.
Right.
Yeah, so morels are up. Black morels are up. We're waiting for the whites and every phase that's in between.
Another foraging thing. Have you ever found any wild asparagus?
Yes.
That stuff, that's good.
It really is. I love asparagus.
Yeah. But you don't want it when it's purple, right? You want it when it's...
Oh, no, you can have
You can have it when it's purple? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I've seen purple at the store that they sell. I'm like, is
Oh,
that like
yeah.
a different kind?
It's just a variety
Okay.
of.
So it's not like, it's a different strain maybe of...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just.
So
like
I mean, I
everything,
didn't
right?
realize
You got,
how tall they were. They like...
Oh
the
yeah,
stalks
they get
get
huge,
tall, yeah.
and the thing is, like, if you find wild asparagus, and the best time to find it is actually in the summer,
Mm-hmm.
like, and you just locate it for next spring.
Mm-hmm.
My wife gets so frustrated because we'll drive down the highway and I go, there's some, and she's like, I don't even know what you're looking at. And she's looking, whipping past, and it's like every off ramp that you get off, or you go. To some of these larger asparagus fields and take the main way out to get to any type of farm or processing plant. You go through some state woods, you start checking those ditches, man.
Yeah.
Because you can find asparagus, find it in the late summer when it looks like a bush. I mean, we live in Michigan, and we live in West Michigan, so we know what overgrown asparagus fields look like.
Right, and I've never understood. I was like, why don't they harvest it? But I guess, do hunters use it for cover for deer?
No, man.
No,
Deer don't even want to go in there.
It does, because I've always thought that it provides like shade and stuff for them to go lay down in. But I never knew why they planted these fields of asparagus and then never harvest it.
And they do. So like the asparagus comes up and it's when it's short and
Okay.
it's tender is when they're snipping it.
Okay.
So once they get it snipped, and it's growing so fast that they might, by the time they get the whole field picked, they could probably go back and start again.
Oh, that's how fast it grows.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
and it might take you a whole day to pick a field, but like you can almost literally watch it grow.
Oh, wow.
So but the first cut is always the best cut.
Mm-hmm.
Like those are the real skinny, thin ones. The first cut, those ones are the sought after, super tender.
Yeah.
Once they start getting woody, like they've got that woody kind of texture.
Where you have to cut 5 inches, 6 inches
yeah,
for the
man.
end off.
Like
yeah.
when they start getting woody, that's when they
Let it
quit.
grow.
Yeah, they quit doing it, and
Okay.
then they just let it grow, and it bushes out, and it seeds out.
Okay, so it's not like they're not harvesting it. It's just that grows that much and that fast.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
they're just overgrown. Then they go, we're done. And
Yeah.
they let it happen. So those ones that you see on the side of the road that are getting tall, snip them off, man.
Yeah.
And you can go back and get the second cutting on them.
The next day, yeah.
Like the next day or the end of the weekend, get a little bit of rain and go, there.
Yeah.
Like once you get them, you can go back and snip them again.
Okay, you have to look for that.
And then ramps.
Ramps, yes.
Ramp time.
Yeah.
Ramp time, I've been seeing them all up. So if you don't know what ramps are, we're going to spend just a few minutes on ramps before we close up this segment. But wild ramps, one of my favorite make ramp butter.
Easiest to
ramp salt,
find.
easy to find. Great thing to get kids introduced to. Look it up what a wild ramp looks like. Some people call them leeks.
They remind you almost of a green onion.
They do. They're like a green onion with the taste of a garlic cross.
It's better than a green onion by far, for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. So
And it's free.
it's free.
Yeah.
It's free. You want to be very careful when harvesting ramps. There is they grow off of a root system similar to like what an asparagus does or a hops plant. So when you dig out the bulb that's on the end of it, you do not want to take more than 10% of a patch. I told you that, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to ever take more than 10% of a patch because you can just decimate
The whole
the
thing.
whole thing. Like you can wipe them out, and like the ramp population did go down for a long time because of how many people were hunting and harvesting.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that I make now is based on the top. So I take the green, try to take one leaf off of the 2-leaf plants,
Mm-hmm.
and I use a pair of scissors. I don't dig the bulb.
Okay.
So I think the limit in Michigan is a 5-gallon bucket. And let me tell you, if you get a 5-gallon bucket
You're gonna be
of ramps,
busy.
you're going to be busy, and you will not need a ramp for the whole year. I promise you. Because I think to make my salt, I'm making like 2.2 pounds of salt, and I'm using maybe 50 ramp leaves.
Okay.
Maybe 60.
So are you drying those, hang drying them, or do you dry them in a dehydrator?
Don't dry them at all.
No?
No.
Oh, okay.
I turn them into a slurry.
Oh, okay.
So I'll take like those 50, 60 ramp leaves, and I'll chop them up like you're chopping, just like romaine lettuce. I kind of stack them on top of each other and chop it up.
Like you would cilantro almost.
Yeah,
Okay.
like cilantro, which I wouldn't do.
Yeah, you don't like cilantro.
Yeah, I'll squirt Dawn dish soap in my mouth. And then put those in the food processor, and I'll add like 2 tablespoons of lemon juice and a tablespoon of just regular table salt, and just puree it. Now that doesn't ever get it where I need it, but it gets it pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll transfer that to a smaller container, use an immersion blender, and really get it into
That's a
a
stone
puree.
thing, right?
Well, no, the immersion blender is just like the electrical blender that's one-handed,
gotcha.
and I'm like put it in. I got an aluminum cup that I use, so you'd like sink it in there and just kind of turn that into a puree, and then I mix it with that salt, which I'm buying the Meladon sea salt, and it comes in like a 2.2 pound bucket.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm making a key, of salt. Mix it up. It'll turn all your salt green. And then I'm putting it on cookie sheets and putting it in the smoker at 180 degrees to dry it. So once
That stuff's so good.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's one of those things, like, once you have it one time, you go, I'm not going without that ever.
Yeah. And then to have a steak, put the salt on, and the ramp butter, that's like, that was probably one of the best things I've ever had.
Yeah.
Like that just goes hand in hand. Yeah.
It's amazing. The ramp salt is a little bit easier to put on stuff or let people try, because you can add a lot of flavor with just a little bit, because you're getting that salt in there, but it gets a good garlic flavor. So
Yeah.
it's pretty awesome.
So I started putting it on my steaks and stuff, and I kind of let it come to room temperature with the salt on it, because then it the salt melts into and gets that garlicky flavor into the steak, because you know how when you put salt on something, pulls the moisture out, but then it makes the flavor go into the steak.
Yep.
So that was really good to do that.
Dude. Yeah. So if you want to get your kids out, like, that is a great thing to get started in the wild. In Michigan, especially this time of year, get out and look for ramps, look for wild mushrooms. Hopefully you can get out turkey hunting. If you're going to go out fishing, we got Skeeter's Fishing Report. So here it is for Skeeter's Fishing Report. Looks like this week we've been out catching some perch. The guys have been searching and searching for perch. Finally found some in the Bear Lake Hole. for the whites, but the big one is the marinas. The marinas they're catching some yellow bellies. I heard the guys getting the crappies were late.
Mm.
So the crappies were late. They've been picking up some crappies. So if you want to get at some panfish, bluegills are moving on to beds. Have heard that a lot. Guys getting some bluegills. White Lake has actually been pretty hot for bluegills.
Okay.
Steelhead, we had that little squirt of chromefish that came up into Hesperia. I imagine that Muskegon probably had the same thing with that rain that we had. You know how trout fishing's been.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been pretty good with the rain.
It's an opener, so we got some rain and guys went out fishing, but guys who fish all the time for trout went, it's a bunch of opener people, so we're going to get back. Been seeing the cohos kings, lake trout. People got their boats in. They're getting out there trolling on the big lake, so that's probably a good thing to do too. Have not heard anything on pike or walleyes, so I can't report anything to you for this week, but that's what we got for episode .2. We appreciate you joining. Eric, thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, and we'll be doing it again real soon. That's what I got. I'm Skeeter. I'm out of here.